Amid an increasingly saturated F&B market and record number of closures, small businesses have to stand out fast or risk shipping out.
It is really very painful that we have to close because then now I feel like I leave you all stranded without anything.
Should we be concerned at this turnover?
You go to a mall and you see like 10 of the same restaurants or the same chains.
Small cafes, family-run businesses, I think it's pretty important because it creates more of a community atmosphere.
There is a lot of history and family stories that were from the food that we have.
Hopefully the next generations would still get to experience what we experienced when we were growing up.
Thank you. I'm in a Peranakan cafe in Bedok North, and this ayam buah keluak is one of my favorite dishes. With a high turnover of local F&B outlets, I'm worried about what we stand to lose. So in this final episode of a two-part special, I want to find out what it takes for smaller local F&B players to keep their seat at the table. Today is BURP's last Saturday of service after 12 years. And not surprisingly, hundreds of regulars show up to bid farewell. This is the busiest the restaurant has ever been in recent times. What was it that made you throw in the towel finally?
If we were to pinpoint to one main factor, it's really a drastic change that we observed in customer behavior. Before COVID and right after COVID, we see the per head spending can easily reach around $40–50 per pax since the end of 2023. After international travel reopened, the per head spending dropped to about maybe $15–25.
If you go into JB, they can get like a plate of tacos for 30 ringgit. They wouldn't want to spend here, where we have a plate of tacos for $16.
We could never compete with JB prices, let's face it. But you can control your business model, right? How you do business.
We actually revamped our whole menu more than once.
There's so many choices out there. The frequency that you would see a person coming down has dropped from 3–4 times a week to maybe once a month.
So the bottom line is consumers have many choices, but only one stomach.
Yes.
Over the last 11 years in your F&B journey, how much money have you plonked in and how much have you lost?
All in all, it's 7 figures.
You've invested 7 figures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
On hindsight, do you think you were naive?
Yes, I think we were. Because back then when we were 24, 25, we were like, just try lah, you know, even if we fail in 1 year, we would be able to pick ourselves back up. Somehow we just kept going on. Maybe we should have left earlier at some point.
Do you think that you guys are being eliminated, for want of a better word, because you simply aren't the fittest?
On the contrary, I think we would like to see ourselves as we survived for 11 years.
BURP is one of 320 F&B establishments that shut their doors in July this year. In 2024, over 3,000 F&B businesses closed. That's the highest number in 2 decades.
We started to clear out all our chillers and freezers and all the shelving because we already sold them online.
All the equipment are going to other F&Bs who are going to open up shop, which is a great thing.
We really wanted to help other F&B owners because 11 years ago we managed to get a lot of second-hand equipment and got us started.
Okay, first of all, thank all of you for being here, especially those who have been with us in day one also. There is no easy way to end it, but I hope you all move on to better companies and better teams also.
Falling demand is one of the factors that has forced BURP to shut its doors. But according to official data, F&B sales across Singapore hit about $962 million in June 2025, up by 0.1% year-on-year. But when you take a closer look, it's the food caterers and fast food outlets that are enjoying bigger bites. Restaurants and cafes like BURP are taking away smaller earnings than before. Today, there are over 15,000 F&B establishments in Singapore, the highest in 2 decades. Could the industry be their own worst enemy? Are we looking at a culinary boom or an oversaturated market? Troy Yi Qian opened and closed several F&B concepts over the last few years. I'm meeting him after his latest workshop, a half-day session for aspiring F&B business owners on the potential pitfalls of the industry. Why do you think there are so many new entrants to the F&B scene?
At the end of the day, people are optimistic about F&B, right? Do you think you're doing something unique, or you think that there's a market gap that you're trying to fill?
Do you think the market is oversaturated?
So you have to look at it from the perspective of who's opening and who's closing, right? So again, when we talk about the net increment of 700 restaurants, opening, a lot of these are either domestic chains that are expanding or international chains that are moving into Singapore. And so if these chains are opening, it also means that smaller players, restaurants or individual bars or individual cafes are actually closing.
Sounds like there may be greater quantity but less diversity.
Correct,
That's
exactly.
quite possible.
Yep.
Given the current market conditions, do you think that it is survival of the fittest in the F&B industry?
I don't think it's survival of the fittest anymore, right? Because I think even the fittest can't survive at the moment. So recently the Michelin Guide came out in Singapore, but within the 2-week period that this guide has come out, 2 of those restaurants have actually closed. In terms of all costs, everything is increasing so much faster, and you cannot obviously increase your prices by that amount. Then that's where you immediately see the squeeze.
Why does it matter?
My worry is that you go to a mall and you see like 10 of the same restaurants or the same chains no matter where you go. And so eventually you're going to essentially lose that food culture that Singapore has. And I think that's quite essential to who we are as a people.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Diana.
This is Christopher Lim, and this is his 5-year-old cafe, Marie's Lapis. This is one of the few cafes serving handmade Peranakan food and desserts passed down through generations.
Mom.
Hello, Auntie.
It's my mom doing our signature kueh lapis.
Chris might be the front man, but the woman behind the heritage foods he sells is his 83-year-old mum.
Diana, come and join me.
Oh,
Come.
is that cinnamon? I can smell it.
I make the cinnamon powder myself.
Huh, really?
Yes,
Why do you do that?
because it's my mom's recipe.
Peranakan restaurants is kind of like a Singapore heritage. How would you feel if, for example, businesses like yours cannot survive in this difficult environment?
I'm thinking that if the customer likes the food, we don't make much also can, or we just break even.
But what if you cannot even break even?
Then Chris have to work harder. We have to make more recipes, introduce more Peranakan things. If we cannot carry on, then we have to shut it, close it. I told him F&B, you have to work very hard. Yeah. Then
Right. Whoa, to the oven. Whoa, it's ready. Wow. Woo.
so this is the cake.
Oh my gosh, my very first kueh lapis. I'm so excited. I'm going to show Chris the cake.
Yeah.
Chris! Chris! Look!
Oh, wow! You made it!
Well, sort of, like 5% of the cake maybe. So, how much can you sell this cake for?
Okay, we are selling this large size kueh lapis for $80.
It's a lot of work, so I think $80 is fair.
But can you guess how much we actually make from the cake?
Okay, after minusing off everything, manpower, utilities, rent, ingredients, I would say about, 20?
So we make less than $8. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the challenge that we have. We don't have the volume, and we want to do things in the authentic way.
How do you balance keeping the tradition alive and also running a business?
Okay, so like my staff decided to leave with a 1-day notice. So imagine this paperwork, I have to do 2 persons job load. So challenges like that, it's really, really tough. You talk about competition, right? Just within the year, there's like 2 Peranakan restaurants opening up here. Just walking distance. So we see a drop in business, maybe about 20%.
Actually, how is the business doing?
We are just surviving. It's really walking on a tightrope.
With all these challenges and stresses, why continue the business?
You have to look at why you want to do this, right? I mean, we are talking about a legacy here. We are talking about culture. Very rich Peranakan culture that is slowly being eroded. We want to bring it back. And that's why I've put in everything to make sure that the business survives. We are not going to give up. I mean, I sold my house, I sold everything. I cashed out my CPF, my insurance policy. Today at 62, cashing out your insurance policy is a big risk. But I took that because I believe that there's just that one way.
Facing a double whammy of rising costs and increasing competition, Chris is just breaking even. I want to know what it would take for him to stay afloat. According to a 2023 survey, over half of Singaporeans rely on social media to discover new restaurants. For Gen Zs, that number is 59%. With the cafe tucked away in a heartland area, could raising more awareness be the first step? Maurice Lapis currently has social media accounts, but yes, these are run by Chris himself too. I'm bringing in an expert to give it a professional review. This is Dylan Tan. He's spent the last 5 years helping small F&B owners up their game on social media.
All right, here is our ayam buah keluak and Singapore best mee siam.
Very excited.
Very nice.
The buffalo is very good.
I love the rupee rice.
Okay, so the food is great, and I think you have a huge menu, Chris. But the problem with that is, number one, it's very hard to manage. Number two is people do not know like what you are supposed to be known for. For example, if you say that you are the best mee siam, I would wish that everybody know that you have the best mee siam and not like I have 100 food on my menu. So number one, we need to identify which are like your top 3, so that once people know that you are famous for this, in the long run, they'll start to explore more and more of the other dishes. So what we'll do is we'll do a set of videos for you, and then after that, we'll share with you what you could do, at least for the next 6 months. But after that, it's really up to you and whether there's someone else to really help you to consistently do it.
That's one way to do it. Are you game, Chris?
Yes, I'm game.
Let's shake your hands on it.
All right, I'll see you very soon again.
Okay.
Chris!
Hey. Okay.
Okay, Marcus, when you're ready.
Okay, cameras rolling. 1, 2, 3, go. Hi, I'm Chris from Maurice Lapis Cafe. We are a humble, simple Peranakan cafe.
Yeah, I like it. Maybe this time round we need to make it more happier.
Okay.
Okay?
Dylan's plan starts with short videos on the cafe's heritage and signature dishes. In phase 2, Chris will need to get more interactive, replying to comments, maybe even launching promos. After a year, Dylan suggests Chris team up with influencers and host themed events. As for posting on social media, once a week is the sweet spot. Can Chris make his brand feel as authentic as his food? And the million-dollar question, whether the likes will translate into sales.
Okay, I just finished a rough cut. You can take a look.
Humble neighborhood cafe serving authentic Peranakan food. That's nice. I like his smile that we managed to get back. Very welcoming.
Hi, I'm Chris from Maurice Lapis Cafe. We are a humble neighborhood cafe serving authentic Peranakan food. Hi, Diana. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, you came just before the crowd and we are fully booked today.
Congratulations! Was it the social media marketing? What were the results of that?
The results were immediate. A lot of calls, reservation, not just for today, but even next month.
In terms of business volume, how much has your sales improved by?
About 30 to 40%. So we need to keep that going.
With the demand going up, you have more pressure on the business. Can you spare that extra manpower to manage the social media marketing?
Yeah, so we have to find solutions. For all F&B, when the business is up, I'd rather have the manpower challenges.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, look at the crowd waiting outside. I think I gotta let you go. You better run along and serve your customers.
Okay guys, you got the reservation inside, right? So you got your reservation? Or no reservation? Okay. Come.
As the Sunday lunch crowd pours in, it's all hands on deck. Wow, do you see the queue? I feel very worried for him because there are customers sitting inside waiting for a while for their food. It's so real to me because if he cannot keep up with the demand, how is that going to impact on his business moving forward?
Finally.
Yes,
I
finally.
get to sit down.
So it's been 4 hours since you opened for lunch. How was business today?
Business doubled to just that 4 hours.
Okay, so today was different from pre-social marketing days.
Yeah.
I also observed that there were long queues and also customers had to wait for quite a long time for their food. What happened there?
One of my staff went on MC. For me, I have to double in for him.
What more do you think needs to be done to keep your business not just surviving but thriving?
Social media marketing is a start. There will be processes that we have to put into the kitchen. Today, I believe we did very well. Everybody is still happy, so that's most important to us. Yeah.
Over the course of my investigation, I've heard calls for the authorities to do more to support local businesses. So I'm meeting a member of parliament who was also an F&B business owner, together with someone whose family is still in the game half a century on.
Welcome to KEK. It's a 3-generation zi char, so we have prepared something very homey.
Yes.
These are my standard dishes. Edward, you used to run F&B businesses, and now you are in Parliament. We've heard a lot of calls for the government to intervene, from rent to manpower. Where should the government step in?
In F&B business, we do have a fair amount of foreign workers as well to complement local workforce. It is something which, as an MP, I'm looking into. I hope that we could also push the relevant authorities to review foreign worker levy, because all this actually directly contributes to a manpower cost.
What do you mean review the foreign worker levy?
Today, because of progressive wage model, there are already in place clear wage guidelines, and you don't really need a foreign worker levy as a policy tool to ensure wage increases for local workers.
In Parliament, Edward has specifically called for short-term increments in the number of foreigners businesses can hire, subject to several conditions.
On the other end, it's also how can we help smaller businesses to maybe find ways to improve productivity, to be able to do more with an equal number of staff or perhaps even lesser human resource. I will also probably say this: if we loosen up foreign manpower policies and manpower becomes more available, we will then see more competition because more people then say, oh, I can easily hire staff, I can start another cafe. And I think today, as I speak to operators like Paul, they're also facing intense competition.
Paul, clearly your business has been able to embrace this challenge. What is the one thing that has made you survive as a third generation owner?
So I think the thing is comfort. Everyone talk about comfort food. So our cuisine is something relatable. So I think that's one thing that makes us stay so long.
Something that I also noticed that Paul has done is investing a lot on customer relationship management software, membership system.
So using a bit of like data analytics to try to improve on the back end with your innovation.
They say you are just a zi cha. How do you use data? You're doing like ha chong kai. But there's more to it. These are feedback to us how we can improve experience. We also find out certain preference and also to help decrease the resignation of employees.
If you were still operating your F&B businesses in today's environment, what is the one thing you would want to change?
I would say especially for smaller businesses, better HR support. We talk about manpower challenges, but actually if you have good HR practices, that actually becomes a competitive advantage. I think there is a way to have a CHRO as a service where HR personnel with proper certification can then serve a couple of SMEs at one go, because it doesn't make any business sense for some small companies to hire the entire HR team.
Remember Ka-Soh? It's a month before this heritage restaurant closes for good.
You see this part, right? This is the one that causes a lot of flavor problems.
But owner Cedric Tang doesn't want to give up on his family's 80-year-old legacy, so he's trying to find a new way out. With help from a business partner and fellow heritage F&B business owner. Cedric isn't about to let Ka-Soh go just yet, even if it means changing a tried and true recipe.
I've got a surprise for you.
Hey, what do we have here?
Fish soup.
Tastes a bit different without the noodles.
I feel that my brand and the kind of fish that we sell has still a potential in the market. So I'm trying to pivot to maybe being a home-based business selling our frozen fish soup.
Do you mean like a frozen fish broth kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. So here is it. The packaging needs to be worked on, but the product, I think so far we have gotten close to a breakthrough.
Okay, but how is it different though? I mean, why do you need more R&D when you already have the recipe?
With this frozen soup, he is attempting to enter the market for like a new audience, a new crowd. So it's a bit different from what his grandfather left behind.
Don't care about heritage, don't care about everything else. The core product is the food. So if your food is good, everything else will come along with it.
In other words, the proof of the zi cha is in the wo hei.
Yeah, precisely.
From what I've heard from you, it seems that it takes a lot of courage to put to an end an 18-year business. But it also takes more courage to try to give it a rebirth. Yeah. And that's what you're trying to do now.
To really revamp everything, but it's also an opportunity to regrow and rebuild.